Hi there, I'm Peg, and welcome to my studio. Hello friends, it's Peg, and we are taking a color adventure trip today. Sorry, doesn't like white pages on there, but for the challenge this month, remember we're doing a color challenge, and I thought I would continue on with what some of the people had done with their pages in grid journaling. So I thought I'm going to create a grid on my journal page here, just trying to make it kind of even and measuring out where I'm going to place my tape down. And the first thing I said was to pick a color palette. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select some watercolor and some ink and some paint, whatever I have in my stash that's going to work with a color palette that I choose. So I went to Pinterest and I found a color palette that is not normally my sort of color palette, and decided that that's the color palette I want to use right there. And so I'm going to print that one out and I'm going to make that the color of choice. And then I'm going to go to my supplies and I'm going to find different mediums to use in that color palette. So I have these inks. These are Bombay inks from Doc Martin in that orange and hot pink. And I'm going to get some watercolor out. I have these Kuretake palette that has this kind of neutral or buff color and that red tone. It's kind of like a orangey red. Isn't really a red or a red blue. It's got more orange overtones to it. And then I go looking for that last color in the palette, and I can't remember exactly what I found. It was something, I think it was a paint, maybe. I don't know. Oh yeah, I got out my watercolor paint from, can't remember if it was Prima or one of them. It was one of those small palettes of watercolor paint, and picked my last color out. So there you can see I have all the colors from that color palette that we're working with. And so I'm just going to start applying that to my page and get some background going. Did you enjoy that? That was just a quick and simple background creation using the colors that we pulled. Now I'm grabbing some stencils and some of those other colors that are part of my palette and applying some texture to the top. Now you can make these as elaborate or simple as you wish just by, selecting how you want to work. You can collage, you can paint, you can do anything you want to do, but what I chose to do was create a painted background with a grid and some stencils and make something very quick and easy. This doesn't have to take a lot of time. You can do this in, maybe about an hour or so of your time. And I think you get pretty nice results. So I switched over to a golden paint. This is Payroll Red, and I'm adding in some stencils, getting some texture on top of that background. These are, what do they call these? These are ATC stencils from Stencil Girl Products. And I've cut them apart. They come in I think a larger, like 9 by 11 or something like that. And then I think there's maybe 12 stencils on each one of the 9 by 12, and then I just cut them down into smaller stencil size. So makes a quick, easy design change when you're working small like this. And I like that you can switch it up easily and have a lot of different designs. So, and I don't even know who made these. There are a number of different artists that did these types of ETC stencils and Stencil Girl, but you can check out their website, Stencil Girl Products, if you're interested in any of those. And I don't know, there's probably an affiliate link. If you look in the description box below, I have, maybe not anymore. I got rid of my website. I'm going to have to think about that. I've made a few changes to my online presence this year, so I'm going to have to change up some of that information for you guys. Anyway, Stencil Girl Products, if you're interested in those. And now I'm going to get a gold paint. This is another golden paint because I want to add some gold, get some sparkle going on to this background. And I'm just moving around the page, adding a little bit to each one of these sections. I want to say quadrants, but they're not quadrants because there's 6 of them. Anyway, you guys get the drift. Just having a fun play with stencils and paint. So if you're not part of our community, Art Joy is Sharing, we're on Facebook, and you may want to check that out. This is where we issue challenges each month and share our artwork. So come and join us. All you have to do is answer a few questions so we know you're not a robot and you're a real person and you really want to contribute to the community, because we want to keep our community safe. So I'm sure everybody can understand that safety first, right? So I'm going to get some ink out. This is some Distress ink. I think it's Black Soot Distress ink, and I'm just using a sponge, and I'm going to sponge on some ink with the stencil to create a focal on each one of these sections, and I will play around with that, add some marks with some pens, And then we'll do the big reveal so that you guys can see what grid journaling is all about and what these grids are about. Now it's kind of fun, you know, you can take your pen and you can write around this. You could put poetry in the margins. There are all kinds of things that you could do to your page if you start thinking about it. So just have some fun and create something. And you don't have to follow exactly what I've done here either. The main thing is that the prompt for this month is to get your journal out and get the colors out and be creative. So I encourage you to share what you've made. Tag me so that I know what you're doing, because I don't want to miss anything. And I want to thank you for having been here with me today as I created. As always, remember to be kind, love one another, and I will see you all again soon. Watch for parting shots.